Coming up on today's bulletin, the Guadalcanal Tandai Ward by-election successfully conducted today. International Children's Day celebrated in Honiara. And Australia is ever ready to support Solomon Islands in its fight for gender equality. Hello, you're watching SIBC's TV News Bulletin. I'm Andrea Maahanwa. The Guadalcanal Tandai Ward by-election was successfully conducted today. Yan Kakui reports.
The Guadalcanal Tandai Ward by-election successfully conducted today. Polling stations in the ward, which opened at 7 a.m. and closes at 4 p.m. today, saw a good turnout of voters casting their votes. SIBC News caught up with some of the voters who expressed their delight in being able to exercise their right to choose their next leader.
Mila kem help na school blomia. Yeah, was school blomia. Hemi early childhood and hemi primary. So this time mi fala kasim hem year 6 finish and mi fala still needing one fala classroom for replace him na leave hard this one. Me like him school ya him continue for 7 the beginning lo ya priority plot beginning lo ya because the beginning no school ya so time it was starting ya him look lot beginning lo catchment area blo mi fala wa marara him far away so it fala build this one with him help block community. Okay, this time him G province him school.
Well, me so excited that me have to come and casting vote to me for someone to represent me falalo this side lo Guadalcanal, no Tandai. I'm observing that this morning is very quiet and people really go for who what like him for representing what inside lo this whole MPA. Me look forward for new member me if I win development no more lo this whole award. I know what me look forward for him.
Come me for vote, me happy for good yeah. No matter what candidate or family members blow me no, but me happy no yeah. Because what I think me no think him yeah. So me say him choice block it. Hen mati think blow me happy. Anyone win look at me happy na yeah. Me look him observation blow me that people enjoy him no more for come yeah. Out not to think twice more for who number to vote him yeah. Him choice blow 1-1 na right block katana. So hard for me tell him for him anyone for you vote him this one yeah. Yeah inta go for this one no more. Him ting bla him na. Who him like him must vote him na. Him no mati ting bla me.
SIBC News understands counting will commence at 10 a.m. on Thursday, the 14th of November. Yan Kaukui, SIBC TV.
International Children's Day celebrated in Honiara. First established in 1954, the day is celebrated to promote international togetherness, awareness among children worldwide, and improving children's welfare. Sharon Anau reports.
International Children's Day celebrated in Honiara today under the theme Every Pikinini Got Him Right. Delivering the event's keynote address, Minister of Women, Children, Youth and Family Affairs, Honorable Frida Tuki Rangere, highlighted children's rights. She said children's rights is the compass to a better world.
Upholding children's rights is the compass to a better world today, tomorrow and into the future. The World Children's Day is today. Join us and listen to us for the future. By listening to children, we can fulfill their rights to self-expression, understand their ideas for a better world, and include their priorities in our actions today. Children and young people are powerful agents of change, bring new ideas and perspectives that can help shape a better future for all of us. And remember, they are our human resources and our future leaders.
Honorable Rangire adds children's rights in the Solomon Islands is protected by law.
Our Solomon Island legislations are laws to protect children. We have our national constitutional law. It emphasizes the importance on protection and fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, including children. It is for purposes of protecting children, we have our national constitutional law. It emphasizes the importance on protection and fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, including children. It is for purposes of protecting children, we have our national constitutional law. It emphasizes the importance on protection and fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, including children. protection and to give right to life of all citizens, including all children, for protection and to stop discrimination of all citizens, including children, for protections on any inhuman treatment and mistreatment, including our children. We have Child and Family Protection Act 2017 and Family Protection Act 2014. These are laws to protect all citizens of Solomon Islands, including children. Every child is entitled to the right to be protected from all forms of physical or mental violence.
Meanwhile, UNICEF representative says they will continue to support the country's fight to protect and improve children's rights.
UNICEF's mission is unwavering in the Solomon Islands, and we advocate for the survival, development, protection, and participation of every child. Through programs that improve access to quality education, promote child health, address child protection, and amplify youth voices, we are working to build a future where children are at the centre of every decision. Yet this mission requires all of us to act. We've had an opportunity this morning to listen to the child representatives, and they've made it clear what they need, what their priorities are. And our mission needs us all to listen. Whether you're a parent, a teacher, a caregiver, a community leaders, your role is vital. By listening to children, by valuing their voices, and by upholding their rights, we can build a stronger, more equitable future.
Sharon Nanau, SIBC TV.
Australia is ever ready to support Solomon Islands in its fight for gender equality. Australia's Ambassador for Gender Equality, Ms. Stephanie Corpus Campbell, highlighted this in an interview with SIBC News. Ms. Campbell, who is visiting the country this week, says programs supported by the Australian government are based on the Solomon Islands government's request. She says a comprehensive approach is needed when addressing gender equality in the country.
Well, on the one hand, it needs to be vast, and we have to look at it in a way that's comprehensive, and this is why. It's because all of our society, no matter what area we work in, it has a population, and that population is made up of 50% men and boys, 50% women and girls. And in any one approach, in terms of how Australia is working in our own country or also in partnership here, if we don't understand that in any engagement, if we don't understand that in the health sector or the education sector or the law and justice sector, we're not going to be, for example, the programs we support, we're not going to be targeting the needs and the aspirations of 100% of the population. So in everything that we do, we ask ourselves two questions. How can we maximize the opportunities for everyone to be involved and no one to be left behind? And how can we minimize any unintended consequences or harm that might come from this action? And so that is an approach that we ask in everything that we do. But we also have some specific targeted programs which are based on what the government of Solomon Islands has asked us to focus on. So we don't come in and say, this is what you need, we're going to do this, this, and this. We come in and say, how can we help you? How would you like to partner with us? And your government, in working with us, has raised issues like ensuring we are working with women in leadership roles, that we are supporting women in business, because that economic inclusion in the economy, really, really important. How we're getting women and girls into certain aspects of education to lift those barriers. So the TVET college that I visited yesterday, to look at how we engage there. Australia has a lot of challenges, but also experience on dealing with violence against women. So we've been asked to work with you in that regard as well, to look at some of the services that are provided to support those experiencing violence. That's another area that we've focused on. But in every case, it's not Australia coming to say this is what we are going to do. It's really about the Solomon Islands government and the Solomon Islands civil society and people saying this is what we would like from our partnership with Australia.
Ms. Campbell says going forward, the relations between both countries is one of partnership.
So again, the relationship's one of partnership. It's one where we learn from you and you learn from us and we help each other. We're neighbours and we're friends. We help each other. And so the partnership in terms of gender equality goes forward on that basis. And I'll say it again, it's Solomon Islands defining where they want to take this journey, the pace they want to take this journey, the key issues that they want to focus on in this journey. And then it's Australia looking at where we're best placed to provide support along the way. It will never be a relationship where we come and tell you this is what you need to do and this is how you need to do it. Never. That never works, and that should never be the case. So as we move forward in this relationship, what I'm excited about and what I've seen having been here, for example, is that we have so many shared values in this space. We both get that this is the right thing to do and it's the smart thing to do to ensure that we're not leaving our women behind and that they can make a meaningful contribution. And so within that, there's so many different ways that we can agree on a work agenda around that not only helps both of our countries.
Minister of Finance and Treasury Honorable Manasseh Sogavare reiterates his seriousness about reforming the country's tax exemption. Sharon Anau reports.
Minister of Finance and Treasury Honorable Manasseh Sogavare reiterates he is serious about reforming the country's tax exemption processes. The opposition leader, Honorable Matiwale, last week called out the Jinnah government's decision to provide tax exemption to One Cheng Company Limited as blatant betrayal of the people of Solomon Islands. Honorable Wale, in a press statement, said Honorable Sogavare's decision to provide tax exemption to One Cheng Company Limited reflects he is not serious in reforming the tax exemption as he has previously announced in Parliament.
The reforms that I want to pursue in the ministry are progressing very well, on exemptions in particular. My directive to review the tax-related issues on mining companies have been completed. And together with the Attorney General's office, we are working on the new draft clauses which will be renegotiated with the mining companies. Most mining companies that I've spoken to have no problems with the proposed amendments to the agreement. Until these agreements are renegotiated, ladies and gentlemen, and adopted, my hands are tied when it comes to applications for exemptions that are done under the existing agreements. I'm also in the process of issuing instructions to the Exemptions Committee on my intentions to review recipients of big exemptions like the case under consideration that are still current with the view to establishing how the exemptions have been utilized. Any further considerations on their applications for extension of exemption will be decided on the basis of them submitting properly authenticated projected profit and loss statements to establish how any further government indirect budgetary assistance will impact their operations. I am also in the process of reviewing the non-statutory exemption application form to establish its adequacy in terms of the information that the Exemption Committee should request from any applicants for exemptions. The quantum of exemptions should be based on proper assessments of the profitability of the business and not some random figures and percentage. I'm also in the process of reviewing the effectiveness of the Exemption Committee in terms of its analysis of the applications received. There is a need to set up a proper continuous monitoring system on the utilization of the tax exemption, which will enable me to properly brief Cabinet on the effects of government's indirect assistance to recipients of tax exemptions. And I've discussed it with the chairman of the Exemption Committee this morning. On the broader concern for improvement in government revenue, Cabinet will shortly consider a number of institutional and structural adjustments to improve collection of non-tax revenue. These will be announced as soon as Cabinet considered my memorandum and also will be announced on the floor of Parliament.
Honorable Sogovara explains current tax exemption is statutory and non-statutory. He adds there are different classes of tax exemption. Sharon Nanal, SIBC TV.
The Solomon Islands National University hosted a seminar on women, leadership and democracy. Alex Tadamo with the details.
The Solomon Islands National University SINU hosted a seminar on women, leadership and democracy in Honiara on Tuesday. Speaking at the event included Australia's Ambassador for Gender Equality, Stephanie Coppers-Campbell, Member of Parliament for Maringe Kokota constituency Honorable Katinori, and former Minister Lanel Tanagada. Dean of the Faculty of Education and Humanities at SINU, Dr. Patricia Roddy, explains that the event is part of the SINU Australia Seminar Series.
So today is one of those public seminars that organized in partnership with the Australian government, Australian High Commission Office. And the topic today, if Ms. Avery Fellow is Women, Democracy and Leadership, reflecting on women's contribution in Solomon Islands and Australia. So me happy for moderating topic here today because it is a topic that it's been in discussion over the past years, how we can improve on women participation in leadership in Solomon Islands.
Former Minister and current Policy Secretary at the Office of the Prime Minister, Lanel Tanagada, was pleased to be part of the discussions.
I am delighted to be invited for also come inside of this space for continue for supporting other women Solomon Islands and especially other young girls where other future blue uni for looking their special place inside law homes, communities and as a nation where other survey continue for support and contribute to developing country blue uni.
Ms. Tanagada also emphasized the significance of supporting other women's achievements.
My passion is to see, as a woman, as a mother, for me must always happy lo success lo for another woman lo country, and that's what me always passionate about. Me looking for young woman him rise up to certain senior positions, CEO positions, or even member of parliament. Me as a woman, I don't break down those systems, but I support and have that pride that there's someone representing me. My voice can be heard in those spaces, and that for me, when we talk about gender, what Mr. always passionate about is to uplift and support other women, and especially of the young ones that come up in this country. Yeah.
Since gaining independence in 1978, women's representation at the political arena has remained low. Women currently make up 3 out of 50 national parliamentarians, 2 out of 12 Honiara city councillors, and 3 out of 123 provincial assembly members. Alex Dadamu for SIBC TV.
Promoting gender equality in Solomon Islands demands collaboration between both men and women. Alex Tadamo with more.
Promoting gender equality in Solomon Islands demands collaboration between both men and women. Former Minister Lanel Tanagada highlighted this during the latest SINU Australia Seminar Series on Women, Leadership and Democracy. She explained that men and women must continue to support and respect each other to ensure equal participation.
We always like for looking that it's just basically having that atmosphere and providing that platform for equal opportunities. And my appeal to the men is continued for supporting waka blo mifala woman and mifa woman too, but continue for supporting mifala as you may continue for building Solomon Islands. And it's not about mifa woman like for be seen and heard more than men, but it's about all of us equal participation, supporting each other and for what, and just having that respect for each other.
The country has observed a gradual shift in the perception of women and their role in society over the years, partly due to legislation against violence, education, and increased awareness. Ms. Tanagada emphasized that gender equality should be taught at home and in schools.
I would say starting from the home and inside law schools too. You mean like for teachers to imparting knowledge law of students and helping other young boys for also garem respect for each other, both genders. I would say having that respect for each other and time teachers teaching certain topics inside the classroom, explaining good lot of students where na responsibilities below each gender come and how na ota by looking that time ota supporting each other by me looking progress.
She adds increased support for women will allow their voices to be heard and their issues to be addressed.
If you may just read about other countries where ota garem that fala that support for women, but you looking that there's improved health services, you looking maternal mortality rate drop, and ota kaina na imi like for looking that imi garem support for women for go on in decision making. You see things from both gender lenses, and then you make improvements for country as you may continue for supporting beloved nation being Solomon Islands.
Alex Dadamu for SIBC TV.
Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele has reaffirmed Solomon Islands' commitment to strengthen the comprehensive partnership with China, which he describes as the pace setter for other Pacific Island countries. Delivering his remarks at the visa exemption signing between China and Solomon Islands, Manele also reaffirms the country's commitment to the One China principle.
This continues to demonstrate your commitment to enhance strategic communication and deepen cooperation in various fields with Solomon Islands to ensure the steady progress of the bilateral ties and bringing more benefits to our two peoples. Solomon Islands will continue to commit to strengthening our comprehensive strategic partnership, which has become a pace setter for the relations between China and other Pacific Island countries. We will also continue to reaffirm our commitment to the One China principle and our readiness to keep closer high-level exchanges with the People's Republic of China.
Prime Minister Manele says he is confident that the signing of the reciprocal visa exemption will pave a way forward for greater cooperation.
Let us celebrate this important occasion as we continue to strengthen our friendship and our commitment for a shared future. I am confident that this agreement will pave a way for greater cooperation, understanding, and foster increased exchange between our two countries for many years to come. Let us now work together in implementing the agreement in order to fully realize the full potential that this arrangement will bring.
Solomon Islands and the People's Republic of China, PRC, on Thursday signed a reciprocal visa exemption agreement for ordinary passport holders of both countries in Honiara. The National Disaster Management Office, NDMO, assures that government is prepared to respond to events of disasters during the cyclone season. Eliza Kokutu reports.
The National Disaster Management Office, NDMO, assures that the government is prepared to respond to events of disasters during the cyclone season. Speaking to local media in a recent press conference, NDMO Director Jonathan Tafiariki said the government continues to ensure that there is a level of preparedness in terms of its preposition stocks to respond to disasters. He also encourages communities to be on alert as they are the first respondents.
I think the government continue for ensure that the level of preparedness exists for country in terms of readiness with them or the preposition stocks lo country. However, just for as a thing, usually government have no always immediately respond. And the first responders people level where I'm stay there. So That's why I'm always send him call or awareness for people must always priority life blokata and or yumi or life play yumi with them or the properties play yumi for must safe for any bigger situation where I'm coming to play. Government trying all its best to ensure that they provide him the necessary support for Kamlo communities.
Tafiriki adds they have conducted awareness on disaster preparedness through various platforms.
In terms of awareness, you may try as much as possible for tailoring what messages play me go down for people whereby the layman's view but understand him. And you may try for utilizing every platform play me, what radios play me, and now available website and social media, Facebook and Twitter, YouTube. Those are new platforms where him now become available for you utilizing. But also you continue for utilizing what NGOs play me and civil society work, community activities.
The country is expecting 2 to 3 tropical cyclones during the cyclone season of November 2024 to April 2025. Meanwhile, the Solomon Islands Maritime Authority, SIMA, also reminds ship operators and the public to always check for weather informations before traveling at sea.
An important call for the public with regards to our small boat users, and very important that before people like to go out using a small boat or small craft, and important for checking the weather forecast. Very good and important for ensure that carry extra fuel on board. No take him alcohol and take him to extra paddle put him in a boat then time go out to sea. Side domestic shipping and very important that charterers work closely waiting na of the ship operators plan them good voyage. Looking good to what na weather forecast like, plan them good voyage for go out lo provinces from Honiara to provinces to Honiara. And then for passengers have important too, that you are well what na weather him like and you work him to on decision blue before you go on board. And time you go on board, it is not thinking about that milako kasi na this a destination. You think to safety, yeah?
For SIBC TV, I'm Eliza Kukutu.
And that's news. Follow us on sibconline.com.sb and our SIBC News Facebook page for more of our latest stories. Thanks for watching.